Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be giving you my Sagittarius January 2020 horoscope forecast part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people. First thing up as well, as far as January goes, the sun will be in Capricorn from the 1st until the 20th. So the second house as well will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong focus, concentration of energy on one's finances, monetary matters, self-worth, self-esteem, values, possessions, resources, buying and selling. And given that this is Capricorn energy, this may be done in a very methodical, systematic manner with a lot of planning and premeditation, a lot of seriousness in connection with this. Now, it could also be done with a lot of prudence, a lot of caution, and again, a lot of planning. And it might also be focusing on some Capricorn way of generating income, such as something with the government or politics or dentistry, information technology, something with business if you have your own business at this time. And really at this time as well, looking at this here could also be a focus on organizing your finances, your possessions at this time. Capricorn could be strongly about organization. In some cases this could shine the light, so to speak, on a Capricorn. Could be like Capricorn type possessions, such as something connected with planning or something with your business. At this time, it could be some accounting tool or anything that could be Capricorn related at this time. Something with architecture. So anyway, something that may have been missing for some time now. Anyway, next thing up. As far as January goes, the sun will be in Aquarius from the 20th until the 31st. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on communications, assimilating information, siblings, cousins, neighbors, short journeys, local transportation, the early education. It could be people that were figured prominently in your early education. Now, given that this is Aquarius energy, a lot of this may be done with a lot of consideration, and if you're focusing on communication, it's like not talking over others, being considerate as far as that goes. A lot of selfless energy and a little humanitarianism and done, and also perhaps with some it could be a focus on as far as your communications go, on new ideas, new concepts at this time. And a lot of this may be done, or rather, communication may be done in a more unorthodox manner, more so than usual, at least different from what you're generally accustomed to doing as far as that goes. And it could also be at this time as well, this could be in some cases, this could shine the light, so to speak, on an Aquarius sibling, cousin, or neighbor. It could be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius traits, or maybe even one that just acts like it could shine light, so to speak, on a rather rebellious, idiosyncratic, or even very unorthodox sibling, cousin, or neighbor at this time. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out for you, Sagittarius. So anyway, well, the next thing up is there will be a full moon in Cancer on January 10th. So the 8th house will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, it's a full moon lunar eclipse on January 10th. Sorry, but this is something, whereas I've talked about in previous videos, lunar eclipses in astrology could be rather serendipitous. This could be something that could start out as something negative, but maybe manifest into something actually more positive. Given you're talking about the full moon, a lunar eclipse in Cancer, and the 8th house being emphasized and highlighted, this could be a time in some cases where you might experience like a departure of somebody that might be, it could be in somebody you were in a shared resources situation that you cared and really showed a lot of care and someone you nurtured for some time. Maybe the person was excessively dependent on you, and maybe they leave, and where it could be something where, you know, departure or ending can signify something positive. It could be a time where perhaps at this time where you're able to maybe find somebody that's more there for you, that's willing to give you that moral support and that, you know, that sympathy and that nurturing energy and caring for you more than the other way around, or at least have more equilibrium as far as that goes. Or even if it's an intimate sexual relationship, it could have been that you were getting, you know, more, might have been giving out more than you were receiving, and it could be a situation where it could signify the ending of that. In some cases, it actually could be somebody that could be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant departing. And really at this time, you know, that could have been somebody again in a shared resources situation, or somebody that you were in an intimate sexual relationship with at this time. So I mean, those are that's just one example, but there's other things too. It could be a time too where you might be completing, it could be the completion or culmination of a transformation that required a lot of tenacity, dedication, and devotion. It could be something too where this could be just, I mean, when you're talking about, I mean, full moons and astrology and being in Cancer, I mean, this could be a time where you're talking about an unveiling or a revelation. I mean, being in Cancer, it could be over somebody, it could be a family member that maybe it could be to you that might have been overly, could be someone overly dependent on you, perhaps, or it could be somebody that, I mean, looking at this, it could also be, I mean, a time when you're talking about, I mean, you're talking about full moon, lunar, I'm sorry, not so, lunar eclipses in astrology. It could also be, you know, a time too where, I mean, where one becomes tired, exasperated, or full of something, but this is on a more powerful level. It could be somebody you may have had a deep connection with that might have been overly temperamental or fickle or moody or over emotional, oversensitive to criticism or ridicule at this time. And it might be something where you just basically, you're stating enough is enough at this time. And also too, I mean, this could be, I mean, you're talking about, again, this is, I mean, full moon, I mean, lunar eclipses can be about revelations and unveilings. It could be where maybe you become more cognizant of maybe something where you need to maybe, you know, nurture your own eighth house related matters. I mean, such as it could be tax, insurance matters at this time, or really understand that you need to be more dedicated and devoted to these eighth house related matters, because again, they can be about revelations or unveilings at this time. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out for you, Sagittarius. So anyway, well, the next thing up is there'll be a new moon in Aquarius on January 24th. So at this time, the seventh house is what will be, I'm sorry, not the seventh house, the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could manifest in a multitude of ways. This could be the start of some Aquarius type writing about things that are innovative, ingenious, they're futuristic, something with computers or electronics. It could be some isolated cases. It could be the welcoming of a new Aquarius sibling at this time, or maybe even a cousin at this time, or maybe even a neighbor. If it's a neighbor, it may actually be, it could be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or one that embodies Aquarius characteristics. It could be a time where maybe you begin some form of very unconventional or unusual form, unorthodox form of communications. It could also be a time to where you begin maybe doing something. It could be something you get for, you know, vehicle for short journeys. That's very, maybe it's wired with more, some kind of, strong sophisticated alarm system for your car, because Aquarius can be connected with computers or electronics, or it might be a time, if you haven't already done so, if you're able to, I think they have something out now where your car can be connected to the internet, and it could be that, something, that maybe you decide to do, because I see Aquarius as being connected, associated with computers and the internet as well. And also too, it could be a time where you begin, where looking at the third house is also our early education. It could be something where maybe you reconnect with somebody that you knew from your early education. It could be an Aquarius, a sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics. So this is how some of this may manifest and pan out for you at this time, Sagittarius. Hold on a moment, people. And it's also a time where you might begin to start thinking outside of the box, so to speak, given that we are talking about Aquarius energy, and really thinking towards the future at this time. It might be a beginning phase for you at this time, Sagittarius. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Mercury will be in Pisces as far as January goes, from the 1st until Mercury will be in Capricorn as far as January goes, from the 1st until the 16th. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could manifest in a number of ways. Your mind might be very dominated by generating income, and in doing so in very perhaps methodical and systematic Capricorn manner. But it could also be about where your mind is, where you're doing a lot of financial planning right now, premeditation and association with making money, generating income, but also guard against becoming overly despondent or melancholy regarding your financial situation, your possessions, your resources at this time. And it could also affect your self-worth and self-esteem. Now, could also be a time too where we're looking at this again. Mercury can also be connected with siblings. This could be about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Capricorn characteristics that might figure more prominently in your self-worth, your self-esteem, income generated. It could be over your possessions, your resources at this time, and monetary matters in general, and whether they're more to your detriment or more beneficial. A lot of that could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in your chart. And say if it makes an sextile trine your natal Jupiter, they might be more auspicious and beneficial in second house matters. But an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, it may go in the other direction, may cause some loss and sorrow, and even disappointment and loss in those in second house matters at this time. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Mercury will be in Aquarius as far as January goes, from the 16th until the 31st. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So we're talking about the third house and Mercury being emphasized and highlighted. This is a time where your communications may be more ingenious, more unorthodox. And you're talking about Mercury in the third house. You're talking like really accidental dignity as far as transits go. And it's something where you could really be talking about a lot of different, this is a very good time for communications, where being an Aquarius, you're going to be able to really, likely you might be expressing yourself in a more perspicacious and clear manner, and speaking about a variety. Perhaps you're talking about the third house associated with Gemini in astrology. This is a time where you might be speaking about a variety of new concepts and innovative ideas you may have, and being futuristic in your thought process. This is a time as well where you might find yourself, where you could be really thinking outside the box in terms of matters with siblings, with cousins, with neighbors at this time. And at this time as well, Mercury, since we're talking, and being more considerate in your communications with these people. And again, Mercury can also be connected with siblings. This could be about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aquarius characteristics that might figure stronger in your communications, your short journeys, It could be matters with your early education, with neighbors, with cousins at this time, with general information you're assimilating, your writings at this time as well. So anyway, well, next thing up is Venus will be in Aquarius as far as January goes, from the 1st until the 13th. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, I mean, this is a time where you might be really emphasizing, peace with siblings, with cousins, neighbors, and also the love, really, of selflessness and consideration in third house matters at this time, whether it's in your communications or dealings with siblings, with cousins, with neighbors, but also the enjoyment perhaps of Aquarius like things with them, such as things that are, new innovations, new technology, aerospace, astronomy, astrology, computers, electronics, anything Aquarius related. If you're unattached at this time, Sagittarius, you may connect with an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius characteristics. And it may be somebody you might meet in your neighborhood, or somebody that you might have known from your early education. It could be a childhood sweetheart. It could be something that you met through some form of communication, such as online or the internet at this time. And also as well, this could be or somebody you might meet through a short journey, and it's also about valuing your independence and freedom in matters with your siblings, your cousins, your neighbors, people you knew from your early education at this time. And anyway, and also in short journeys, and going where you want to go, that independence and freedom element may be more emphasized than usual as far as that goes. Last but not least, well, Venus will be in Pisces as far as January goes, from the 13th until the 31st. So the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could be about a time where you want a lot more peace in your home life, more so than usual. You may be, and it might be a time where where it's about valuing really, your isolation, your time alone in your home at this time, and also at this time as well, if you're unattached at this time. Sagittarius, you may connect with a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Pisces characteristics. It could be somebody that might figure prominently in your home, your family life. It might be someone you feel close to home with, or somebody that could figure prominently and play an integral role in that latter or end part of your life, whether you are in it now, currently in it now, or not. And at this time as well, this could also be about really valuing, it could be like Pisces, like traditions at this time. It could be something connected with poetry, dancing, I would say maybe even something with photography or chemistry, something that's associated with the imagination, maybe something like very abstract, like abstract art, anything of a fantastical nature, anything that could be Pisces related. It could be something with fishing or something else with aquatics or water at this time. But just guard against spending unrealistic amounts of money on something connected with getting in touch with your roots, your ancestry, such as going on to ancestry.com. And anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Sagittarius January 2020 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Sagittarius January 2020 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.